What's up, guys? Back with another vlog, jumping straight into a leg workout. All right, this is on October 27th, roughly about 15 days before stepping on stage. And this is usually how I start my leg days. I usually start with some kind of single leg press calf raise. I've been alternating between both at the same time and single leg. Here I started with single leg and just wanted to show you how I do this. Very important when you're doing calves. You get a full stretch and completely stop at the bottom. And what I mean by stop, you don't want to have your calf move whatsoever. And the reason for that is because your Achilles tendon is in charge of a lot of rebounding forces of the calf muscles. So if you rebound a lot, then you're mainly working your Achilles tendon. So in order to shut off the Achilles tendon, you want to completely pause at the bottom. Make sure your calf is completely still before pressing it up again. And I promise you, you won't feel your Achilles whatsoever. It's going to be all calf, all right? And this, I believe, is my last set, and I'm doing somewhat of a cluster set. So I'm doing minimal rest in between each leg and just alternating back and forth between them, okay? And I believe this is my last set. But again, you want to do like a 1 to 2 second pause at the bottom and a 1 to 2 second squeeze at the top and controlled negative. And here I'm doing kind of like force reps. I'm using my quad to get myself up, but I'm still controlling the negative as I come down. Okay, so you can do that like as an added intensifier. Essentially, it's almost like doing assisted reps, right? You really use your quad to push yourself up and then control the negative. And this is really, really effective to stimulate growth in the calves. Highly recommend you try it out. From there, I moved on to this squat machine, all right? And what's awesome about doing calves before doing squats is that it really helps your ankle mobility for you to get deeper squats, all right? And here, whenever I'm doing any kind of squat, in order to put more tension on my quads, I try to make sure my hips go right in between my heels, all right, and allow my knees to travel forward. And at the same time, try to keep my chest up as high as I can. Here, ideally, I'd like for me to keep my chest up a bit higher, right? But, constant work in progress. Your technique should always be a work in progress. Same thing with everything, right? Like your sleep, your recovery, your nutrition. Every day it's a work in progress to try to strive to be better, So I'm open to criticizing myself, and making sure I make those improvements so I can constantly be making progress, right? But here, I don't like how I'm looking down. I'm gonna definitely try to keep my chest up higher as I come down. But I really like how I'm allowing my knees to travel forward in these to put most of the tension on the quads, all right? So that was my top set, all right? I think I did roughly about 2 top sets. And right here, I believe is my second top set. On this day, guys, I was feeling not too strong. Like I've done 4 plates and a quarter on this machine, right? So I was just going as heavy as I can with staying within the 8 to 15 rep range. And this is as heavy as I was able to go this day. I've been able to hit 15 reps with 4 plates and a quarter. But on this day, guys, the diet is starting to catch up to you, and it's normal to get a little bit weaker as you get leaner. That's kind of the sacrifice you have to make to get the shreds, Muscle endurance is most likely going to plummet as well. But the whole goal, guys, is to try to maintain as much strength as possible while leaning out, because you're training and building and maintaining that strength is what's going to retain your muscle mass. If your strength plummets too much, then the more muscle you're gonna lose. All right. So from there, after my second top set, I moved on to a drop set or a back off set. I removed a plate, right? Kept 2 plates and a quarter, and here I did constant tension, just making sure I pumped the quads, right? So after I did my heavy top sets, now I'm just focusing on the pump, making sure I get blood into those quads, because, you know, getting the pump is very important to make gains, not just building strength. Too many people rely on either one or the other, either just the pump or just strength, but you got to train both, right? And when I'm doing these, right, I'm trying to get as many reps as I can, bracing for every rep, keeping my chest up high as possible. I got to do a better job, and I keep my heels down too. I just bought some squat shoes, so I'm going to be using those for my leg days, just because I don't like how I'm raising my heels either, you know, but always a work in progress, guys. From there, I moved on to single leg press. Really important that you go nice and deep on these in order to target your glutes, okay? The main reason, at least for me, why I do any kind of single leg movement is to target both my quads and my glutes, okay? Single leg exercises are arguably one of the best exercises you can do to target your glutes, but the key is to go deep enough. A lot of people, when they're doing single leg movements, they don't go low enough, so they just, you know, they're blasting their quads and they're trying to grow their glutes, but what they don't understand is that range of motion, when it will determine glute development and glute activation. You know, the more you can flex your hip, and by flex I mean bring your knee to your chest, the more glutes you're going to activate. And not only that, you're going to get your quads even more too, you know, because it allows for you to flex your knees even more. So the more knee flexion and the more hip flexion, you know, the more you're able to bend your knee and bring your knee to your chest, the more quads you're going to get and the more glutes you're going to get. So try this out. Single leg press. Go deep on these, all right? Trust me, your glutes are going to be on fire. From there, I moved on to dumbbell RDLs, all right? And for all of these exercises, I did roughly 2 to 3 heavy top sets, all right? This is my first top set. Here I got, I believe, the 75s, right? And for these, making sure I keep my chest up nice and high, and I push my hips as far back as I can to make sure that I stretch out my hamstrings, all right? I try to keep my lower back arched the best I can, right? While keeping my chest up and push my hips back. So all that's being stretched out is the hamstrings and the glutes, all right? And to bring myself up, I focus on squeezing my glutes through, all right? So that was my first top set. Here's my second top set, right? Keep my chest up, pushing my hips back. And my range of motion in my hips is somewhat limited due to, you know, previous injuries, but here I definitely feel the stretch on my hamstrings. Okay, so everyone's different. It'll look different for everybody, but as long as you're feeling that stretch in the hamstrings and you're bracing your core, keeping your chest up as high as you can, that's how you are able to do this exercise safely, all right? And it's super important to learn how to do any kind of deadlift variation, whether it be dumbbell deadlifts, barbell deadlifts, Romanian deadlifts, right? You got to learn how to pick things up off of the ground while keeping your back straight. You know, learning those biomechanics, it's extremely important for proper hamstring development, and not only that, for daily functional movement, all right? So try this workout out, guys. After this, I did hamstring curls. I didn't really record it, but 3 sets of 10 to 20 hamstring curls. Try this workout out. So guys, just got back home from training legs. Got a sweet haircut. Finally, much needed haircut. But about to eat my post-workout meal. I am freaking starving. I haven't eaten in like 2 or 3 hours. And yeah, let's get to it. right, so as you guys saw from my last vlog, which was pretty much the vlog that I filmed yesterday, I'm depleting the next couple of days. And my depletes aren't that bad. You know, I'm still having a good amount of carbs, but my carbs are drastically lowered. So I want to say drastically, I'm being a bit dramatic, but they're definitely lowered. And right here, I just got 5 ounces of chicken and rice, just like yesterday, as my post-workout meal. The only difference is that instead, it's 100 grams of rice. To be honest, I forgot how much I ate yesterday. I think it was 150. So 50 grams of rice was taken off. Hey, my dog's just super hyper and he's playing right now. You know, but put some salt on this. Gonna have this meal. Cause I am starving, guys. Starving. I haven't eaten in a while, and I've only had 2 meals in, and I should be 4 meals in. But yeah, when it comes to post-workout meal or post-workout eating window, a lot of people put too much mind on it. Like, it really doesn't matter that much, especially if you have protein before your meal. I mean, especially if you have protein before your workout. If you have protein before your workout, your body's gonna still use that protein to repair the muscles that you're damaging during your workout. So if you have protein before your workout, the post-workout meal, the timing doesn't matter that much, but definitely you don't wanna go too much time. I recommend you have a meal every 2 to 4 hours, right? So if you have a meal before your workout, right, you can wait roughly 3 to 4 hours till you have your next meal, right? So say it takes you an hour to complete your workout, or an hour and a half. You still have like 3 hours before you can have your next meal for your body to utilize it for muscle gain, right? Because once you have meal, it's called, like, I think the refractory period, where once you have a meal with protein in it, your body really can't utilize protein again till after 2 to 4 hours, right? For your body won't utilize the protein. Like, say you have a protein meal, if you have another protein meal an hour after that second protein meal, your body won't use that protein to build muscle because it's still using the protein that you had the meal before. All right, it's called like a refractory period. You know, it won't use it for muscle protein synthesis. So if anything, you're better off waiting a little bit, especially if you had a meal before your workout, right? Wait at least 2 hours, right? So if you do have a meal before your workout, yeah, it might take you 2 hours after you train and you get back home, or get to where you got to get to, and that's a good time to have your meal. But it's okay. You don't have to be so anal about this, you know. The most important thing is that you have all of your protein, like 1 gram per pound of body weight, or 1.1 to 1.3 grams of protein per pound of body weight for the day. All right, that's the most important. You stay consistent with that, you're gonna make gains, especially obviously if you're training hard and you're eating the right amount of calories, right? And you might be asking, oh, okay, but Josh, how do I track my calories? Use a food tracking app. My favorite food tracking app is called Macro Factor. It's a really good app. You do have to pay for it, but it's, in my opinion, it's worth it. There's also MyFitnessPal. They've changed in order to use most of their settings, or the really, really good ones, you have to pay for it also. But there's other ones like My Simple Macro Tracker, I think it's called. It's called the Stupid Simple Macro Tracker. That's a really good one too. But honestly, my favorite is Macro Factor. So yeah, guys, don't think about that post-workout meal too much. Just make sure you're having protein throughout the day. have protein before your workout, and split up your meals 2 to 4 hours throughout the day. One thing that helps me a lot is scheduling my meals in my calendar on my phone. Literally, I know exactly when I'm supposed to have my meals, and I work it around my schedule to make sure that I stay on point with that. Sometimes I have a full day with a lot of clients. So what do? I prep my meals, put them in a meal prep container, and I take them with me to the gym. And in between clients, I have my meals. You being too busy is not an excuse. You gotta prepare ahead of time. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Simple as that. Got some steak cooked up for later tonight. Some sirloin steak. But this is my meal right now, my second to last meal. Pretty sad actually. 5 ounces of salmon, 2 ounces of sauerkraut, it's my vegetable of choice, and 7 grams of olive oil. So it's super low carb. Like I said, today is a deplete day. So today I have an entire meal without any carbs. The steak, I'm gonna have it with rice later tonight. So I'm pretty excited about that. Gonna have this meal, I'm pretty hungry. But yes, we're depleting right now. This might be the second to last deplete before I step on stage, considering I'm 2 weeks out. So we're gonna try to thin out as much as we can this week, this second to last week, and most likely we're gonna start filling up on the last week by adding in carbs and come out tight on stage. So this is it, guys. This is it. Tomorrow will be officially 2 weeks out. Dieting is fun when you get to eat a lot, but on days like this is when you get tested, but it's really not that bad, once you get used to it. But this is what it takes. It gets rough towards the end, but this is where you make the most progress and where you see the most changes is on the last week. So you got to embrace it. And honestly, guys, I love salmon, but salmon can get redundant after a while, but when I have it with rice, it's pretty good. But it's just alone, this just salmon and vegetables, it can get pretty rough, but what keeps me going is just having that goal in mind, having that goal of coming out looking my best. But yeah, guys, gonna finish this meal, watch some YouTube, right? That's my favorite thing to do as I'm eating, unless I'm eating with someone. I like to talk, but this is what I do. So guys, I'm gonna have my last meal. Let me show you what it is. Right here, I got 5.5 ounces of the sirloin steak that I cooked earlier, 2 ounces of green beans, and just 100 grams of white rice with 7 grams of olive oil poured in there. So I'm gonna have this meal, then go straight to bed because I'm exhausted. I had to wait a bit longer than I'd like to have this meal just to let my other meal digest, right? My salmon meal. But that's my phone telling me that it's time to go to bed. But yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed this vlog, a little leg day, a little full day of eating, kind of. Didn't really show breakfast, but I had a really busy day, guys. I had to run a bunch of errands today, so it kind of threw off my day, and it didn't really let me be on point with my schedule like I'd like. But you gotta move with the punches sometimes. Life isn't perfect every day. Sometimes things are gonna get thrown at you, but you still got to get the work done, and like I said, roll with the punches. All right, but catch you guys on the next vlog. Peace.